It was said to be love at first sight. Actually, scratch that. It was love at first dream. And it was one of the grandest royal weddings in the history of Southeast Asia. A legendary couple who met, fell in love, and died in the middle of the sea. But was it really a fairy tale love story without a happy ending? Did it really end in such a tragedy? Wait lang, if you would like to watch this video in Tagalog, check out the links up here or down below for the Tagalog version of this video. Now back to our topic. Mabuhay or in Kapampangan, luwid kayo. Welcome back to another video. It's me, Kirby Araullo, your friendly Pinoy historian. And in this channel, I make videos about our people's history, culture, and everything in between. So don't forget to like, share this video, comment down below, and subscribe. Valentine's Day is here. So for today's video, I thought I'd share one of my most favorite love stories of all time. An epic love story that, according to legends, actually ended in such a tragedy. Yet, if we look at historical records, they might actually say otherwise. Today, many Filipinos are more familiar with the stories of Romeo and Juliet, or the fairy tale of the Sleeping Beauty. Many are more familiar with the royal weddings of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, or that of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. But deep within our own roots lies a legendary love story and an epic royal wedding that has been forgotten in our mainstream narratives. A legendary tale that was actually preserved in Brunei and other Southeast Asian countries but forgotten in the Philippines. And this is the tale of Nakhoda Ragam, aka Sultan Bolkiah of Brunei, and the Princess Puteri Laila Menchanai of Sulu. And I honestly think that their love story is way better than that of Romeo and Juliet or that of real-life lovers Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. And it's a love story that's really close to my heart and it's literally in my blood. So first, we'll begin with the legends that has been passed down through generations to the people of Borneo. And then we will look at what actually happened according to historical records. So who was this legendary couple? Do they still have descendants alive today? Did they really die in the middle of the sea? Was it really such a tragedy? Let's learn more. According to the legends, Sultan Bolkiah was a young handsome king, a beloved and respected ruler of Brunei. He was known to many across Southeast Asia as the legendary Nakhoda Ragam, or in English, the singing captain. Nakhoda Ragam loved sailing. He was a happy king who also loved to sing while sailing across the open seas, across the many islands of Southeast Asia, from Borneo to Java, from Malacca to Luzon, from Sulu to Johor, and many more. And one night he had a dream about a beautiful princess, a captivating beauty that he would someday marry. And then one day, while sailing in the middle of the sea, they encountered a mysterious bubble emerging from the ocean. White, shining bubbles rising above the sea. Shining, shimmering, and splendid. It kept growing and growing. And it just kept getting closer and closer to their ship. And while his crew were afraid, Nakhoda Ragam remained calm. He was curious about the bubbles and the sea foam that are now surrounding their ship. And then a sudden explosion occurred, and while everybody else was hiding in fear, the young sultan remained unafraid, and he saw a beautiful princess emerge from the shining, shimmering, splendid bubbles in the middle of the sea. It was the princess in his dreams. She approached the young sultan and introduced herself as Puteri Laila Menchanai. And the two immediately fell in love. In fact, they could not even wait to return to land to get married. They got married on the ship in the middle of the sea. They were so in love with each other that every night, under the brilliant moonlight, the blooming couple would happily sing together as they sailed back to Brunei. And within just a few days away from Brunei, the young sultan found his beautiful wife sewing in their bedroom, and she was using this magical golden needle. And Nakhoda Ragam loved what he saw and he was excited to approach this beautiful princess, his beloved wife. But Puteri Laila Menchanai stopped him. She told him not to get closer. She warned him that the golden needle that she was using was a magical needle that is extremely dangerous. But the Sultan did not care. He shrugged it off and he actually thought that his wife was just kidding, that she was just joking and messing with him. Nakhoda Ragam did not mind the dangerous magical golden needle and he still approached his wife and sat next to her. And he eventually fell asleep on her lap. But then an accident happened. The young sleeping sultan was poked by the magical golden needle. And sadly, because of this, the young sultan passed away in his sleep. He died in the arms of his beloved princess. Puteri Laila Menchanai was shocked. She was devastated and she felt guilty for causing the death of the love of her life, the beloved sultan. She didn't know what to do. She was afraid. She was grieving. She was confused. And so she locked herself inside the bedroom, staying beside her beloved but lifeless sultan. She stayed with him inside the bedroom while chaos was unraveling outside. And she was also afraid that the people would blame her for the death of their beloved king, that the people of Brunei would accuse her of murdering their beloved benevolent sultan. And in the end, she decided to take her own life, to end her own life, to join her beloved sultan in the afterlife. Some say that she poked herself with the same golden needle that killed the young sultan, while others believe that she used the sultan's own golden kris to stab herself, to reunite with her beloved in the afterlife, to join her beloved sultan in paradise. The remains of the royal couple were then brought back to Brunei to be buried next to each other. And their eternal love became a fascinating legend that has been passed down in the many oral traditions of Brunei and other countries. A tragic tale of true love that is still being sung and reenacted in many parts of Southeast Asia today. But is that really it? Was it really a tragic ending? Now this is just one version of their legendary tale that has been passed down through generations in the past 500 years. So wait, who was the real Sultan Bolkiah? Who was the real Puteri Laila Menchanai? What really happened to them? According to historical records, Sultan Bolkiah was the famous 5th Sultan of Brunei, who reigned from the late 1400s to the early 1500s. It is believed that he ascended to the throne at a young age, after his father, Sultan Sulaiman, abdicated the throne in 1485. The young Sultan Bolkiah ruled over an empire centered in Brunei until 1524, and his 4-decade reign is considered to be the golden age of the Sultanate, when the power and prestige of Brunei expanded beyond the horizon. It was a maritime empire that expanded in what are now the modern-day countries of Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Sultan Bolkiah is considered to be the greatest, most powerful, most benevolent, and most beloved sultan in the long and proud history of Brunei. And he accomplished all of these with the help of his beloved queen, with the love and support of Puteri Laila Menchanai. So who was this beautiful princess that captivated the young sultan's heart? Puteri Laila Menchanai was the beautiful princess of Sulu. She was in fact not your ordinary princess. She was a dayang-dayang. A dayang-dayang is the princess of the highest degree, the princess of the first degree. She was the daughter of the mighty Sultan of Sulu himself. Puteri Laila Menchanai was also the beloved granddaughter of the great first Sultan of Sulu, the founder of the mighty Sultanate, the religious scholar, the explorer, and the beloved Sultan Sharif ul Hashim, who himself was a direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad through his daughter Fatima. And just like in the legend, it is believed that Puteri Laila Menchanai appeared in Sultan Bolkiah's dreams even before they met in person. And their union was said to be one of the most grandest, most historic, most epic royal weddings in the history of Southeast Asia. Their marriage united the powerful sultanates of Sulu and Brunei, and together they forged an empire across the seas of Southeast Asia, becoming the dominant force in the region at a time when other great Southeast Asian kingdoms began to decline, at a time when Europeans barely started to venture in these prosperous islands, a golden age in which Brunei also controlled the vital routes of international trade in the region, a golden age in which Sultan Bolkiah was one of the most powerful kings in Asia. In the end, they were buried next to each other in Kampung Kota Batu, the ancient capital of Brunei. In fact, Puteri Laila Menchanai is the only known Putri or princess from Sulu to have a makam or a royal mausoleum in Brunei. And this is not just an ordinary mausoleum or a tomb. Traditionally, a makam is a shrine in the Muslim world. It is a shrine built on the site associated with great Muslim leaders, and usually it is also their tomb, a testament to the honor and greatness of a Muslim figure. The makams of Puteri Laila Menchanai and Sultan Bolkiah is both a holy site and a royal tomb, a shrine and a sanctuary. It is further evidence of the overwhelming love and veneration their people had for them. In fact, to this day, 500 years later, people still flock to their makam to pay their respects to the legendary couple, to honor the benevolent patriarch and matriarch of the once mighty empire. And their marriage was also the first officially recorded royal union between the royal families of Brunei and Sulu. It was the first among a long line of intermarriages between the royal houses of Sulu and Brunei. And as mentioned in my earlier videos, these royal intermarriages also included the royal houses of Lusong, or what is now Luzon. Their direct descendants ascended to the thrones of many historic and powerful kingdoms in Southeast Asia. Their many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were some of the most historic kings, queens, and warriors who ruled across the islands of Southeast Asia, from the Sultans of Brunei and Sulu, to the Lakans and Rajas of Luzon, to the Sultanate of Sarawak, the Sultanate of Pahang, the Sultans of Maguindanao, and many more. And their grandchildren and great-grandchildren included my own ancestors, Raja Matanda of Luzon, Lakandula of Tondo, Raja Sulaiman of Maynila, Magat Salámat of Hagonoy and Tondo, Junicio Kapulong of Candaba, and many others. In fact, even the great Sultan Kudarat of Maguindanao, the legendary Sultan who successfully defeated the Spaniards in their attempt to colonize Mindanao, married a great-granddaughter of Sultan Bolkiah and Puteri Laila Menchanai. Actually, oral traditions and written accounts also indicate that Sultan Kudarat himself was also a descendant of Sultan Bolkiah and Putri Laila Menchanai through his mother, a princess of Sulu. So in short, unlike the romantic but tragic ending in the legends and the songs, their love was actually one of the most successful dynastic unions in the history of Southeast Asia. In fact, to this day, the ancient throne of Brunei still belongs to the bloodlines of Sultan Bolkiah and Putri Laila Menchanai. The present-day ruler of Brunei, the 29th Sultan, Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, was actually named after our great ancestor, and he too ascended to the throne at a young age, when his father, Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin III, abdicated in 1967. The eternal love between Sultan Bolkiah and Putri Laila Menchanai was a dynastic union whose living descendants continue to be thriving and prominent in various fields. From politics to the economy, from the arts and culture to the world of sports, many are successful and beloved, while others remain controversial. And apart from the Muslim royal families of Brunei, Sulu, and Mindanao, their descendants also include many prominent Christian Filipinos who belong to the ancient royal clans of Luzon, or what we in Kapampangan call the Mapyang Sugi. And this include the former Philippine presidents Diosdado Macapagal and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, along with historic senators such as the great Jovito Salonga and Gil Puyat. And this also includes the famous singer and Broadway star, the original singing voice of Princess Jasmine and Mulan, Lea Salonga. And if we think about it, this is quite similar to the love story between Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, whose descendants reigned as kings and queens of Europe from the 1800s to the present day. Although, in comparison, the bloodlines from the marriage of Sultan Bolkiah and Puteri Laila Menchanai is much older. It dates back all the way back to the 1500s and remains influential today. While this legend of their epic love story ending in a tragedy was preserved in Brunei's traditional music and theater, the true story of their love is actually far from being tragic. They were blessed with a happy family and a prosperous life. Their marriage was one of Southeast Asia's most successful royal weddings, not just because it gave birth to an empire, but also because their love was genuine. It was a true love, a romantic, unbreakable union immortalized in the memories of millions of Southeast Asians, and their union gave birth to a mighty dynasty ruling not just one empire but many kingdoms in the long and proud history of Southeast Asia, a dynasty that continues to reign today. And through the centuries of Philippine history itself, their long list of descendants also includes many scholars, artists, lawyers, politicians, religious leaders, and yes, even activists and revolutionaries. A thriving, royal, and ancient bloodline connecting many prominent families of Southeast Asia today. In other words, their descendants continue to shape societies and influence the world from both within Southeast Asia and beyond. So, was it a love story better than Romeo and Juliet, better than Queen Victoria and Prince Albert? Honestly, I think so. But let me know what you think in the comments below. So to learn more about the colorful histories of our people, check out the links up here or down below for more videos and resources about the untold but fascinating history of the Philippines and Southeast Asia. And speaking of our ancestors, check out my coloring book series and zine series called Color Our Roots and Know Our Roots, about our people's colorful history, rich cultures, and everything in between. In fact, the first issues of Color Our Roots and Know Our Roots will also feature Puteri Laila Menchanai, Sultan Bolkiah, and their many grandchildren and great-grandchildren in the Philippines. So check out the links below to pre-order your signed copies and download your free sample today. And that is it for me today. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, don't forget to like, share this video, comment down below, and subscribe. And special thanks to all my patrons over at Patreon for your continuing support to help me make more videos like this. Nakalpong salamat. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, show your support and please be my patron or get a copy of any of my books or any of the merch linked down below. Maraming salamat po, or in Kapampangan, dakalpong salamat, and in Bahasa Melayu, terima kasih. And of course, in Bahasa Sug, magsukol tuod kay mo. See you next time when Tagalog kita kits and in Kapampangan, Mikitix!